What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the video a lot of people are waiting for, and it's the player ratings because it's controversial, apparently, because I don't change my opinion on a player on a weekly basis. So, because I'm not a flip flop, apparently it's not a good thing, and apparently that's having an agenda because I don't change my opinions based on a game, nor for the club, nor for the players. But it's just an opinion, and I will stick by it until I have enough confidence, enough evidence that I'm wrong. That I think I'm wrong, and then I will flip it. But I'm not going to do it on a weekly basis. I'm going to just give my score for the game against Empoli for each player on a game-to-game basis, and then in my podcast, whatever, I will make my mind up. But we got the win. We got the win, and it wasn't how do you say, like, it wasn't a win to remember. I will call it that. A game where you're like, oh my god, so many positive signs, whatever. But it's a win. Actually, there's one big negative thing, and it's obviously Pogba. I'll touch on that as well. But yeah, let's go into the player ratings as we do every single week. Okay, like I said, we do it the same as we always do. I will go with that back line. And as you can see, I don't have an agenda. I don't. I will not change my opinion on a player unless, again, I have enough evidence that I'm like, okay, I was completely wrong. And yes, I need to change my opinion. But players can have a very good game in the midst of 3, 4 bad performance. Like Sandro can turn out to have a very good game post break. That doesn't mean I'm gonna change my mind on him as a player moving forward for the club, whatever. That's not gonna happen. But on a weekly basis, you can have a good game here and there. But Perin 6, he actually he didn't need to do anything because Empoli had nothing. Empoli are a very poor side. They're going to battle relegation all season, most likely, unless there are more shocking teams in the league, which is kind of hard to imagine if you see him play. They have absolutely nothing in that team. So Perin he didn't have to do anything. I'm going to say his kicking and his ball distribution is poor. And usually I don't care, but it was kind of weird at times. He was giving the ball away when we were high up the pitch, and it could have cost us against a better side. But he kept his neck clean, and I think that's the most important thing. I'm gonna say Chesney will be back post international break. He will be back between the sticks, which I prefer. Not that Perin is a bad goalkeeper. I just prefer Chesney. But he had a clean game. So 6 for me. Danilo, he's my man of the match. I'll give him a 7, and not just because of the goal. Like the goal for a defender, for me personally, if a defender doesn't get a goal, it's fine. Like that's an added bonus if a defender gets a goal. But he was good. He was good in possession. He was good defensively. His positioning was spot on this time today, or yesterday when you're watching this. He was good. He was very, very good. Even at corners, like he was present. He was causing trouble. Maybe too much trouble because that first one got disallowed. But overall, he had a very, very good game. So 7 for me. He is my man of the match, and you deserve that because he had a very solid game. Bremer and Gatti together 6. Like it was clean. At times there were some weird personal mistakes, if I want to call it mistakes, like weird things. It didn't cost us. But like overall, they kept it clean. They kept it clean, and I'm not gonna do it after one game. Oh, look at the difference without Alexandro, because Alexandro could have been in that lineup and we could have kept it clean because Empoli are really poor. I just think, excuse me, Gatti deserves to play. Not saying Gatti is world class or whatever, but he offers more, in my opinion, in possession, and also he's aggressive. And Alexandro's not good in possession because he keeps it so basic. And at times it's frustrating because when Gatti pushes up the field with the ball, at least he makes that forward pass. Alexandro doesn't do that. Also, Alexandro is one who loves to back down, and when he gets aggressive, he usually gets cooked or makes a very stupid foul. Gatti got that more under control, in my opinion, and that backline looks more settled with those three. I know they're not great playing out from the back, left-footed, whatever. I get that, but I think we can all agree that this should be the back line. Will it be great? Probably not. Like, it doesn't scream world class like that back line. But man, I feel more at ease when Gatti is playing instead of Alexander at this moment in time. That's just my opinion. So 6-6, 6, and 7 for me. Now that midfield, excuse me, we won that game. I never had a feeling that Empoli were going to score, but I also never had the feeling we were in control of that game. You know, and that might sound weird because Empoli had a lot of the ball in pointless positions, but I don't think that midfield kind of dominated. They couldn't keep hold of the ball. They at times got overrun up to a point where Empoli were just too poor to do anything with it. So my ratings are not going to be that high. Like McKennie, I'll give him credit. In possession, he is what he is. But, you know, out of possession, he brings that energy. He moves into space. And actually, I thought he was good, you know. I thought he was pretty okay, you know. And actually, this far this season, he's been okay. You know, he's not having absolutely stinkers now. He got a few minutes here and there. He started today, and I thought it was decent, you know. Is it quality in possession? No. And I think we know that, but against a team like Empoli, that will probably do, I guess, and it did, you know. But he had a good game, so 6 for me. Miretti, he was my worst player on the pitch. I like Miretti. I like him a lot. I believe in his qualities 100%, and I think he will come good because actually the same thing as last week, you know. He gets into positions where I'm like, damn it, you know, that's so good. Like, I don't know how you did that because he frees up himself completely from his opponents and he enters in dangerous areas. And actually, Allegri, now while I'm recording this and I'm seeing the quotes coming up on Sky Italia, Allegri is actually saying the same thing. You know, he gets into positions like nobody else in that team. I don't know how he does it. It's a quality. The issue is with which wasn't the issue early on when he came into the first team. His first touch ability was spot on. He's taking too many touches as well now. I don't know why that is. Part of me will understand why, because that midfield is very slow. We like to build it up sideways way too much, especially in the last 2 games. But the other issue is when he's at the edge of the box, it feels like he gets like an error in his brain, you know, because I think everybody remembered that chance in the second half. I don't know who gave that ball. It could have been Kostic. Cuts inside, plays it to Miretti, and he had so much space. He could have controlled it. He took a touch, and he instead of shooting or just playing it sideways, he took another touch and he lost the ball. And that happens way too often, you know, because he is technically good enough to play one-touch football, to take one touch and take a shot or whatever. And he needs to improve that. 100% he needs to improve that because his ability to get in those positions is quality. It's just, okay, now you're in those positions, you need to make something happen. And I'm not saying score 20 goals a season, but like be dangerous, be decisive, play that pass, play that killer pass, take that quality shot, whatever. Even if it's saved, I don't like it is what it is. But that's what's missing now, and he needs to put it together, in my opinion. I still believe he will, but as of now, that's his main issue. You know, it's just the final thing. And it might sound easy because there's one thing that's actually missing, and that's remain calm in the final third, but it's missing, and it has been missing for a couple of months now. But he's getting more consistent game time now, so I'm expecting it. Not expecting is a wrong word. I'm demanding that it should get better, and it should. You know, obviously. Move on to Rabiot. Um, this might sound harsh because if people say 6, I'm not gonna really argue with that. You know, but I never had a feeling it was quality and we dominated enough. So I gave them all a 5.5 because Kostic, he played to put those crosses in, and actually Allegri is saying the same thing. We needed crosses. He put in some crosses, but they weren't really quality. And you know what you're gonna get with Kostic. I don't think that was the game we needed. Allegri said that's what we needed today. If I look at Empoli, I don't think we needed that at all. That's just my opinion. So 5.5. Locatelli, same issue. Like I know how good he can be, but it's very inconsistent within a game. You know, he plays a great pass and the following pass is into the stands. And I'm like, I don't get it why. I don't get it, you know, because he has all the abilities to play much, much better. But that's my issue with him, you know. He, I know he can do better, and he should be doing better. But for some reason, it's very inconsistent with him, and I don't get why. I don't get why at this point. Rabiot, 5.5 for me. With Rabiot, if he doesn't score, Rabiot, you almost forget he's on the pitch, you know, and that's not a bad thing. But today, I thought he was extremely anonymous, and I don't know, man. Like I don't get it with Rabiot. Like I know what he offers, but in certain games, I'm like, we need more in certain games, you know, especially in games where you should be dominating an opponent. I need more quality in possession, actually bullying your opponents. And I see that way too often, and I didn't see that today. I didn't at all, you know. I saw people comparing him with Miretti, and that's also not fair because you're comparing an experienced player with a kid, a player who was terrible in the first 3 years and then out of nowhere popped up with double figure goals. If you're gonna do that, then you also need to give Miretti 3 years time. That's only fair. You know, you cannot make that comparison now. But I thought it was really flat from the midfield, in my opinion. So that's why I'm going with those scores. Like it's Empoli, a very poor Empoli. We should be dominating. Strikers, 6 and 6.5. It wasn't the best of games, you know, and I'm not I'm not gonna slate a player for missing a pen. It was a poor pen, by the way. But Vlahovic is the guy who takes a pen. So if he's gonna stay here for like let's say 5 years, he's gonna miss a couple of pens, you know. And I cannot come on every single time. I'm like, oh, you missed a pen. And that happens, you know. You can miss a pen. It is what it is. It was a poor taking pen, but it is what it is, you know. Him. What I'm gonna say about Vlahovic is his link-up play, his hold-up play has much been improved compared to last season. Is it because he's more fit? Could be. It actually could be. Probably that's part of it, but it has improved, you know. And he didn't have really clear-cut chances, you know. Had a few tough ones. He made the most of it, but overall, we didn't create that much today. We didn't, you know. It was just once every 20 minutes, and it wasn't like we outplayed a team. It was just that through ball and, you know, and goal or no goal, basically. Chiesa 6.5. I thought he was good in possession. I thought he was really good, and that last goal was, I thought it was quality because of the run, but most importantly, he got tripped basically, and instead of just going down, he got back up, and instead of panicking and taking a shot immediately, he took one touch and he made sure he was gonna hit that clean instead of, like I said, getting up and hitting that. And he took that goal brilliantly, and then it was done. He squeezed everything, all his energy out of his body to get that goal, and it was good. Happy for him. He deserved that goal. He needed that goal, in my opinion, and he got that goal, and that's good. You know, going into the national break with that type of feeling is positive because we're gonna need him. We're gonna need him big time this season. So 6.5 for me. Now to the subs. Pogba, 6. I thought he was good. That goal disallowed quality, but he's injured. And going off the first news reports, he's gonna be out for quite a while. And I'm completely done. You know, I'm at a point where I don't really care. Like when he comes back, if he comes back from injury, and that's not a knock on him because he cannot do anything about it. It's just his body. Like it is what it is. Like it's like Chiellini with the muscle injuries. Like it is what it is. You cannot do anything about it personally as a player. So I'm not gonna hate on him because of that. But I don't really care at this point. You know, when he plays, he is the most talented player in the squad. But man, you know, it's been a year. Like it's done. You know, and I'm at a point where I don't think any team will sign him at this point. Not even the Saudis anymore. If he sees this, and it's getting that bad that he might even consider just quitting it because what's the point? You know, playing 20 minutes, and then be out for 2 months because going off the early reports, he could be out for a couple of months. He could. And I'm at this stage where I'm like, if he comes back, he comes back, whatever. We just need to look forward and keep in mind our midfield is Locatelli, Rabiot, Fagioli, and Miretti. That's our midfield going into the season, and period. It's not going to be anything different. Maybe you have Pogba here and there for a couple of minutes, but that's it is. 6. Cambiasso didn't have much time to impact. 5.5. Milik, gave him a 6 because that assist to Chiesa was quality. like top notch. You know, it wasn't easy. He waited, put the right weight on that pass between a couple of players, just quality. Credit to him. That was a brilliant assist. You know, a brilliant assist. So 6 for me. Keane only got 7 minutes, but I'm giving 5.5 because he had a positive impact. Hit the post. He was good in possession, so 5.5 for me. And I probably think we're gonna see more of him post international break. We are 6 minutes, standard 5. You know, so that's my opinion. That's my player ratings. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the player ratings. Give me yours. MVP, worst player on the pitch, and like the video, subscribe, keep it clean in the comments. It's just opinions, and yeah, man. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later tonight.